CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, the information source for the serious investor.
Hello, friends. Jim Nance with you. NASDAQ.com halftime report. Mike Dick and Jerry Glanville. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Here we go. Okay, the game you're watching, San Diego with Ryan Leaf, 2 touchdown passes to Freddie Jones, leading. Can the Chargers hold on, not give one away in the fourth quarter, as they've done 6 times this year? We'll find out. Dolphins trail, only 69 yards. Total offense by Miami. The Colts 1 score. Manning to Harrison, 27 yards. Tennessee and the Jags tied at 10. Third quarter, Jags, Brunell to Fred Taylor, 10-yard score to tie that game 10 apiece. Atlanta, Oakland, and the Raiders with 2 rushing touchdowns. Tim Brown also on a hookup, 28 yards from Rich Gannon. Denver and Seattle and the Seahawks on top here. Heward there, Brock Heward with bruised ribs out of the game. Kitna has replaced him. Seahawks got a fumble return, 63 yards for a touchdown, Michael Sinclair. Earlier today, the Ravens were winners.
I tell you, Dilfer brings lots to the table. Jimmy, he can push that ball down the field. Here he is, Patrick Johnson on the long touchdown pass. He gives them a chance to score points to go with that defense. They're a pretty good football team.
They're 9-4. The Steelers win to go to 6-6. What a pathetic effort by Achilles Smith.
Achilles Smith, he made a mistake. Get up, make the chase. He didn't make the tackle. He just watches the play. Terrible play.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Bucks over the Bills as Warwick Dunn found the end zone twice.
Warren, you made those inflammatory comments about your offensive coordinator. It very easily could have blown up on you. Why didn't it today?
Because I knew what kind of ball club I had. I told you all the way from earlier this week, I knew the pulse of my team. And when I walked in that locker room on Saturday morning, everybody looked at me, heads were up, and we were ready to come to this ball game and get us the win that we had to have to put ourselves in a chance to run the table.
Staff with our Bonnie Bernstein. How about the Jets over the Bears, Mike?
Pretty lackluster game, Jim, but here's Testaverde finding Richie Anderson. Touchdown. End up 17-10. The Bears came back in the second half, made a game out of it. They were down 17-0.
Talk of New Orleans, Aaron Brooks up and over for the winning score. He rushed for 2 touchdowns, threw for another, and the Saints defense made a play at the end, and they are tied with the Rams atop the NFC West.
Great interception. Olam stretches out, thumbs together, gets the ball, but it's Aaron Brooks. He's the man.
And the Rams got to go there the last game of the year.
I'll tell you who ran wild today. McNabb, 125 yards, the most rushing yards by a quarterback in 34 years in the league. Most since Jack Concannon, 1966. He played for the Eagles. And meanwhile, Philadelphia had to hold on. Eddie Murray, 44-yard kick to tie it. No. Jill Arrington talked to McNabb.
You knew it would be a tough game coming in here. They would play hard. How were you able to beat this hungry Redskins team at home?
Well, I mean, you know, we had a lot of hunger in our minds and our minds and bodies, and we just wanted to come out and sort of prove a point, open up some eyes in this conference, because this is a tough conference. We got the Giants and the Redskins to battle with, and we can come out and battle against them. We think we can win it.
Just the mention of Jack Concannon seemed to get your interest there, Mike.
Well, you know, nobody do this after he rushed for that yardage at 66. He got traded to the Bears for an old tight end. Me. It was only nothing for nothing trade in the history of the game.
They threw in the jar of Vicks, too, didn't they?
Six pack of Schlitz.
Who got the better end of that deal?
Nobody.
Thanks for being with us on the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Second half from San Diego coming up next.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, the information source for the serious investor.
CBS Monday. These attorneys are after a war criminal.
Cornelage deceived me, hung by my thumbs.
But did this man torture and kill millions?
It was over 25 years ago.
See how far one law firm will go to prove his identity.
If you do this, I will never forgive you.
Sonia Braga guests on Family Law, CBS Monday.
Hey, how you guys doing?
This is Tony Gonzalez, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. He supports the United Way by preparing meals at a local community center. Tony has good hands. The kitchen staff knows this.
Tony!
Heads up.
D-Bone. Sorry.
Tony Gonzalez. On the football field, he has good hands.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together.
I will not do it.
To the greatest fans, thanks to all the fans out there. Thanks for being the we needed you most. Thanks for coming out, and we'll keep showing up for you. Thanks for your support. Love you. Mwah.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, 'com, the information source for the serious investor. CBS
It's halftime in San Diego. The Chargers leading the Chiefs 14-6. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this word from your local station.
Everybody loves Raymond. Mondays on CBS. It's all here.
Folks, here's how to play Santa this Christmas. Give 2 terrific dinners and 2 tickets to a Broadway musical or comedy at the #1 theater restaurant in the country, all for under $50. It's a new theater gift certificate. Ho, ho, ho!
Come to Long John Silver's and get our seafood and more meal. Fish, shrimp, hush puppies, fries, slaw, and a crab cake for just $3.99. Long John Silver's. You can't resist the cravings.
He is my light and my salvation. He's always right. He's always patient. I pinch myself. It's like I'm dreaming it. He says, come here, baby, and kiss me like you mean it. He calls me baby, says, kiss me like you mean it.
You only get out of something what you put into it. And we're putting something special into truck season. For limited time, you can save on any 2000 Ford Expedition with low 0.9 financing for 60 months. That could save you over $8,000 in interest. But hurry, this deal is for a limited time only. Hey, you only get out of something what you put into it. So get into a 2000 Expedition at your Midwest Ford dealer.
Get to Best Buy and get the gifts everyone looks forward to. Like a $400 Best Buy shopping spree when you sign up for 3 years of MSN Internet access. It's easy to switch to MSN. Try it today. Turn on the fun. Best Buy.
Get Chiefs news, stats, and highlights at KCTV5.com.
Halftime at Qualcomm, San Diego leading Kansas City 14-6. Welcome back, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Mark May, and you wonder, is this just a tease for these Chargers fans who have tried to stay loyal to this team despite being 0-11. Chargers look pretty good offensively in the first half. Certainly Ryan Leaf trying to use last week as a stepping stone.
Oh, absolutely. Ryan Leaf 10 for 13, but what I'm impressed with his progression, the way he's protected the football, made correct decisions out there on the field to play. This doesn't look like the Ryan Leaf we've seen before. This looks like a mature quarterback.
Let's talk about Kansas City. Warren Moon gets the start for Elvis Gerbach, who's having the best year of his professional career. Moon hadn't even started a game in 2 years. Last time was with Seattle. Coming into the game, you figured Moon, if he got into a rhythm, would be able to take advantage of this San Diego defense that gave up so many passing yards to Gus Frerotte last week. Well, San Diego's caught on.
Yeah, but he did early. He was 6 for 6 on his first 6 pass attempts, 6 completions. But since then, 2 of 11. And I think it was easy for Warren Moon to come out and dink and dunk. But once he had to throw the ball vertically down the field, that's when he had his problems against the San Diego Charger defense.
What do you think should change about this Kansas City offense? Have they been blending in the run enough for you? They tried to do it later stages of the second quarter.
No, this is a team that should have started off running the ball to take the pressure off quarterback Warren Moon. And now they really can't set up their play-action passes because San Diego's having none of it. When it's second and long, third and long, they're blitzing Warren Moon, putting pressure on him.
And now if you're San Diego on the other side, you have to think of it this way. Don't play this game just trying not to lose. Keep doing what you're doing. Go out there, win the football game, because that's when mistakes happen, when you change your philosophy and your approach. Jenkins on the return after the kickoff from Sauerbrunn. Jenkins breaking one tackle and then gets hit at the 20-yard line. He stayed on his feet, but Kansas City special teams able to charge in with Brian Waters. The halftime numbers in a 14-6 game. Passing yards. That's where Ryan Leaf has been able to do his damage, and total yards. Kansas City offensively, just not much to speak of.
But it's a turnover. So 2 turnovers right there by San Diego. They led to only 6 points for Kansas City. Kansas City wasn't able to capitalize on them, and it was the defense of the San Diego Chargers that really stepped up to the plate.
And you say, look at time of possession, and Kansas City won that category, but who cares? San Diego was able to do something with the football when they had it. 2 long drives for touchdowns. Running play to start out here in the third, and the Chiefs defense not fooled. Marvcus Patton combining with Browning to bring Fletcher down. A loss of 5 on first down.
And it's the first series coming out of the locker room that sets the tempo for the second half. Who's going to come out and dominate the line of scrimmage? And I think Kansas City, I can guarantee you one thing, Gunther Cunningham was in there screaming at his team at halftime, pleading with them to play up to their potential and stop the run, which they've done a decent job, but put pressure on quarterback Ryan Leaf.
You remember Dwayne Clemens was forced to leave the field with an injury earlier. Clemens is back on the field now, playing at his defensive end position. 2nd and 15 for the Chargers. Leaf looks, throws, and picked off. Intercepted by Patton. Patton across the 20. Patton looks for an opening. Patton to the end zone. Touchdown, Chiefs. Ryan Leaf is laid out back at the 4-yard line. A 24-yard return. Leaf had his bell rung.
Wow, he's out of it. Look at his eyes. He has no idea where he is at this moment. The San Diego Chargers have problems at the quarterback position. Jim Harbaugh's the backup, but he's been banged up and battered the entire season. And for Ryan Leaf, he takes the center, takes the snap, looks to the left. He tries to wait it out. It's a short drop. He needs to get rid of the ball. Then he looks to a second read through progression. You like that, but you got to get rid of the football, and he gets hammered before he gets rid of the ball. Marcus Patton made a heck of a play on the ball in return.
The concern right now is for the condition of Ryan Leaf, but you just think about this man's career in 3 short years. He can't enjoy success.
He can't. He really hasn't had a chance to compete in the NFL, and Dwayne Clemens lays the lick on him on the play. But, here's a play for Ryan Leaf that, you would expect him to get better. It was just great last week, had a career game. Comes into this game, he's playing great at the quarterback position, and you hate to have this happen. If you're the San Diego Chargers and their administration and their football, if you're sitting here saying, hey, he just can't catch a break into this offense. And for Ryan Leaf, that's not a devastating hit. He gets hit in the chest, but he hits the back of his head on the turf.
By the way, it was a bad pass.
It was a bad pass. Yes, it was.
Leafs numbers, the interception comes back for a touchdown. Jim Harbaugh is the backup quarterback. Harbaugh has dealt with numerous injuries throughout the year.
He's just a tough guy. He's played with so many injuries, and, it's one of those things where you want to see him go out the way he should go out because he's a heck of a quarterback. But every time he plays, he gives all he has.
Peterson the extra point. Marcus Patton on the return. 2nd interception of the season for Patton, and Kansas City is right back in it.
What?
Log on now for Southwest Airlines $99 or less internet specials, only at southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
Need sports equipment? Go to MVP.com. All the best gear, all the best brands, and insight to help you play your best.
And right now, save up to 50% at our holiday sale.
MVP.com. Gear up for sport.
Volkswagen owners really love their cars. And right now, we're offering some great deals to help spread the love around.
Tuesday on 60 Minutes 2. Not since the gold rush has this kind of treasure showed up. The buried riches of a place called Treasure Island. Tuesday at 9, 8 Central.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Medical staff taking a look at Ryan Leaf on the sideline. San Diego now with a 14-13 lead after the pick and touchdown for Patton. Ronnie Jenkins from the 1. Jenkins going across the field, breaks one tackle, and then brought down as he gets to the 27-yard line. Mike Mislowski with a stop. And Marcus Patton, one of the leaders of this defensive unit.
Here's another look at the hit, and Ryan Leaf's going to come back into the ballgame, but watch his head, how it hits the turf. Bangs right on the turf. Marcus Patton with the interception picks up his blockers, weaves it into the end zone for the touchdown. But Ryan Leaf's back into the game.
So that was during the timeout. Leaf getting checked out, looking at the eyes. And right now, all eyes will be on him, taking the snap on a 1st and 10 from the 28. Some deception for Fletcher up the middle, and Woods gets him down low, a gain of 7. So Ryan Leaf trying to change his image, trying to change the way he's perceived, not only in this town, but throughout the NFL.
Absolutely. He's not perceived as a tough guy. Hasn't played with a lot of injuries, and that's what you want to look at a quarterback is, Leaf, you have to earn your stripes in the NFL. It's not going to be given to you. You can't go out there with a couple of nicks and say, hey, I can't play today. You've got to play through the pain.
2nd and 3. Movement, flags down. It was Dan Williams that came firing through and getting a hand on Leaf. So the multiple flags will probably bring this one back. Was Williams coaxed off sides? He was not. It was all of his doing.
Offside, 92 defense, elevated towards the quarterback. That's 5-yard fence, Phoenix opening first down.
You know, one thing also, Mark, in talking with Jeff Graham of the Chargers, describing Ryan Leaf, he said Leaf did something earlier this year in that week leading up to the Oakland game where he went to the media and said, my wrist isn't going to be ready to play in that game. This is Leaf going down again. And the Chargers players were not happy with that. How can you say you're out for the week on a Monday? Leaf throwing long, up high, and too high for Freddie Jones.
And that's what I mean. You have to earn your battle stripes as far as respect goes in the National Football League. It's not going to be handed to you. You have to earn it. And you can't come out. It's ridiculous for any player, unless you have a blown-out knee or a broken arm, to say that you're not going to play on a Monday. Heck, Stephen Davis from the Redskins this week fractured his arm. They didn't know until game time today if he was going to be able to play. That's what the NFL's about.
And guys talk. Guys talk in this league.
We know more than the coaches.
Sure.
The coaches will come down to the locker room, they'll hear something that's going on. The players, we've known it 2-3 days ago.
Clock stopped. 12:52 to play. 3rd quarter. Here's Jeff Graham. On the sideline toss, Eric Warfield there after a short gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and 7.
For Eric Warfield to battle back, and you like to see a young player like that in his 3rd season come back after being benched. And when we talked to Gunter Cunningham, what he told us is he's had the best week of practice, not just this week, the last couple of weeks, as any player on the team. He's been intercepting passes, knocking them down. He's been a werewolf out there, and sometimes it's a psychological battle, particularly with a young player. When you bench him, he realizes he's embarrassed. He better step up and do his job.
It can go one of 2 ways. You get benched, then maybe you said, hey, it's not worth it, I'm a second teamer, or you work harder, and that's what Warfield did to get his job back at left cornerback. Play clock winding down. Leaf gets the snap. On 3rd down, Leaf steps up in the pocket, has the time, fires, and nobody home.
Wow.
The Leafs still might be seeing some stars. Let's hope so, because that one wasn't even close.
That ball was almost in Tijuana. But Dan Williams. Wow. The Chiefs just can't keep players injured on the defensive side of the ball. Dwayne Clemens has missed time this year. Dan Williams has missed time. Eric Hicks has missed time on their defensive front.
We'll step aside. The concern now is for Dan Williams on his back in a 1-point game in the 3rd.
Scientists announced today the discovery of a new element. They're calling it turbonium. El turbonio es único. The addition of turbonium to the periodic table of elements was its electrons traveling at a rate of speed. En la física cuántica. But practical applications of turbonium.
Turbonium.
Back to you, John.
What do we want this year? A JPEG of the grandkids would be nice.
I want to be a cyber cowboy. I want to check out a chat room.
I'm a nut for email.
I want to buy my lingerie online.
Me too. I want to know what is hip.
This year, give your parents the gift they really want. An easy way to stay in touch right from their TV. Web TV from Microsoft. Look for our holiday offer.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. And by Nike Shocks, being thoroughly experienced and explained on Nike.com.
Dan Williams was helped off to the sideline during that timeout. And now San Diego will punt. Darren Bennett. Another high punt. Lockett letting it drop, and it rolls into the end zone just barely. Tim Denton had a chance to knock it back. It'll be a touchback.
For Darren Bennett, it's not just the distance, it's the height. As high as he punts this ball.
Here on CBS. Donald Willis has stepped in to play center for Grunhard on a handoff. Kimball Anders breaking it to the outside, and he is spilled out as he comes up shy of the 30. A flag on the play. Against Kansas City.
The Chiefs offense can't generate big plays.
88 offense. A 10-yard penalty, still first down.
And it's Tony Gonzalez who gets caught. Right now, let's get an NFL Today update to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, thank you, Ian. And Miami Dolphins have taken the lead. J.J. Johnson up the middle. The Colts offense stagnant since an early strike from Marvin Harrison. Dolphins lead on the road. Let's go back to Ian and Mark.
What is wrong with Indianapolis? We've had a chance to see them in recent weeks in a loss to Chicago and a loss last week in Green Bay. The Colts just cannot seem to regain their confidence offensively. On a 1st and 20, the running play was brought back. Moon off play action, trying to set it up. Almost picked off. Richardson couldn't bring it in, and Fakir Brown would have had 6.
Fakir Brown's been all over the place the entire game, making plays and close to plays. But here's a ball that's thrown too high and behind Tony Richardson. Play on the ball, he can't come down with it. It's right in his hands. That's a play that you dream of. If you're a football player, you dream that, hey, there's the ball. I want to make a play on it, because you're a defensive player. You don't get opportunities to score touchdowns. That was his chance.
So San Diego could have answered right back with a defensive score of their own. Brown in his 2nd year. Handoff, trying to run it off tackle. Kimball Anders. And he is wrapped up by John Perella. A short gain.
And I'm watching the exchange between the center and quarterback. And first it was Tim Grunhard. Now it's Brian Walters to Warren Moon. And it just hasn't been crisp. We'll keep an eye on that for the rest of the game. That may be a problem throughout the game. If the quarterback doesn't feel comfortable, Warren Moon's hesitating when he gets the snap. Well, if he continues to hesitate, that's going to be a problem. He can get his foot stepped down. He can fumble the ball. It's an area where you want it smooth and crisp, and you can go through your progression.
3rd and 18. Doesn't help that Grunhard has been forced to the sideline with an apparent injury. And here's Moon. In the pocket, has the time. Thrown up high and incomplete. Derek Alexander was the target. So the Chiefs forced to punt it deep in their own territory.
Now, I believe the San Diego Chargers defense has Warren Moon and the offense of the Kansas City Chiefs confused. They're befuddled. One of the keys, Tony Gonzalez. Where is he? He's supposed to be a big part of this offense. We haven't seen him this afternoon. He's gotten called for a penalty, hasn't caught any balls. Here's a situation where they need Tony Gonzalez in this offense if they expect to win this game.
No injury to Grunhard, we've been told, just resting on the sideline. And now Todd Sauerbrunn from his own end zone. Nate Jacquet standing at his own 40. Sauerbrunn gets it off. A short punt. And it floats out of bounds in Kansas City territory. They'll spot it just at midfield, a 37-yard punt. San Diego, tremendous field position when we return.
Your husband isn't dead. He's alive. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure he gets home safe.
What happens now?
This is a game. For you, it's emotional. The people holding Peter, it's a business.
Peter's not a game.
I have to get back to my wife. If I stay here, I'm going to die.
You told me my husband was coming home.
I told you you'd have to trust me, and you said you could. So, Roman, absolutely.
Fruit of Life. Rated R. Starts Friday, December 8th.
two businesses are identical. And now, one company creates internet solutions unique to you. Fujitsu. The possibilities are infinite.
When two smart cyber titans from Ask Jeeves got Norelco Quadra actions from their girlfriends, we expected a smart response.
Well, at 5 o'clock shadow by noon.
But the girls insisted. Slots for longer hair and holes for stubble were definitely the way to go.
It's only been a few days, but I'm liking it.
They loved how easy it was to clean, and no one could escape their enthusiasm.
I love this thing. Nice and smooth. Here, give it a feel.
The Quadra action has satisfied 99% of the guys who've tried it. For more info, ask Jeeves. Norelco, put it to the test.
What do you say? Nobody! Nobody! Nobody!
You never know who's going to show up on the NFL Today. Sundays on CBS.
Kurt Schottenheimer's defense will be tested here. A 1st and 10 for San Diego at the 50-yard line.
Many concerns on this defense, particularly when they're starting two of the younger players, Greg Wesley, the rookie, and Pat Dennis was the rookie at corner. He's a backup today. Now the injuries to the defensive line up front. They've even activated Norris McFleary off the practice squad this week.
On 1st down, Leaf is tripped up, somehow got it to Fletcher and creates yardage. A 5-yard gain in what could have been a loss on the play. Marcus Patton with a stop. And Leaf again going down to the turf, being stepped on.
And these are one of those plays, they look ugly from this point of view. But actually, he gets the ball to the back, and that's all that counts, because the offensive linemen and the blockers up front, they don't know it was a bad handoff. They don't know there was a problem with quarterback Ryan Leaf. They're just going out there and doing their job.
Also for this Kansas City defense, Gunther Cunningham telling us, we need to uphold the Chiefs' tradition on defense. It's been a great tradition, and now teams are coming in and exposing us defensively. That has to change. Leaf over the middle, Freddie Jones. And he's brought down as he crosses the 45. A fight for the football as Jones was juggling. Chiefs claim they have it. Football comes popping out. They'll have to make a decision long before the football came loose. Patton was in on the stop. And Kansas City has it.
That ball popped up in the air in the middle of that scrum, and it all depends who has possession of it last. And the officials come in to find out who has the ball. They want to find out who has it last when they pull the bodies off. Here's Freddie Jones on the run. He's nailed right there. Chester McGlaughlin, that's great hustle coming from the backside. He just pulls the ball away from him, and now it's a scrum for the ball. Who's got it? Who's got it? They're fighting, they're rolling, they're finding out. Who has it?
I don't know.
It's like a fresh piece of meat down there. Who's got it? Who's going to get it? I'm hungry. But Kansas City comes up with a football.
Well, the officials decide that it is Chiefs football in the 4th San Diego turnover. Chargers have committed 2 or more turnovers now in 12 straight games. Now make it 13 with today's. Moon, long ball throw to the sideline. Good attempt, but incomplete. Derek Alexander with Fakir Brown. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And this is taking your shot, but this is forcing the football because Fakir Brown has tremendous ability to run stride for stride with Derek Alexander, but look at the position he has. He's got perfect position on that ball. That's outstanding. You don't play it any better than that. Inside positioning, he's got the body leaning against him. Derek Alexander, the only way he can make a play is to go over the top of the defender.
2nd and 10 from the 44. Anders in the backfield. Clock is stopped. 9-11 to play in the 3rd in a 1-point game. Gonzalez, the motion man, he's been quiet. Handoff. Anders. San Diego converges defensively with Gerald Dixon. And a loss of 2 on the play. Let's go to New York right now. Bring in Jim Nance with an NFL Today update.
All right, here you go, Ian. The Broncos turn it all over to a Marine right here. Mike Anderson up the middle, 15 yards, and the lead for the Broncos. 17-14, 6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Back to Ian and Mark.
Now, it's amazing what Denver can do in the running game. With the injury to Terrell Davis, to bring players in and still gain 100 yards, rushing touchdowns. It's a tribute to Mike Shanahan's system. On a 3rd and 12, Moon. Rush is coming. Moon throws to the sideline. Leaping attempt for Lockett. And it's incomplete. Darrell Lewis the coverage. And Lewis has been heavily involved defensively for San Diego today.
And the entire San Diego defensive secondary, Joe Pascal's come up with a plan to blitz Warren Moon, but have his defensive backs play one-on-one. This is a great job of one-on-one with Darrell Lewis out in the flat. But Warren Moon, he's just saying, I can't get it done. I can't complete a pass. His first 6 were completions. He just can't do anything now. 2 for 15 in his last 15 attempts. 2 completions.
And another punt for Sauerbrunn. Unable to take advantage of the turnover. Chiefs go 3 and out. This one a high punt from Sauerbrunn. Jacquet allows it to bounce, and it rolls into the end zone. It'll go down as a 58-yard punt, but a net of 38. San Diego will have the football when we come back.
Samsung joyfully introduces the world as you make it, where our digital technology has one job: to make life more fun. We want to thrill you, connect you, charm you, satisfy you, and delight you.
Everyone's invited
To the Samsung digital experience.
What are you doing?
Get your own Volkswagen. With the great deals we're offering right now, it's never been easier.
She will always remember Christmas 2000. How is up to you. A diamond is forever.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Samsung. Welcome to the Samsung Digital Experience, where everyone's invited. And by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Such a beautiful part of the country, Southern California. San Diego, Qualcomm Stadium, 14-13. The Chargers leading the Chiefs. San Diego looking for its first win. Chiefs trying to even its record at 500, 6-6, and they need a win to stop a 3-game losing streak. San Diego football with a 1-point lead. Leaf throwing it on first down. Intercepted again. James Hasty.
Now that's just a poorly thrown pass by Ryan Leaf. I have no idea what he's looking at, but it wasn't the wide receiver on the play. For James Hasty, his 45th interception of his career. It's amazing. He just comes up with turnovers. Gunther Cunningham told us we've got to create turnovers. Well, they've gotten a ton of them in this game. But here he is just dropping off into his zone. He's got the area, sees the ball's thrown right to him. Ryan Leaf just doesn't look at his wide receiver. He's throwing to an area, not throwing to the receiver, and he should read the defense. He doesn't read the defense. He's got him locked in, never looks anywhere else.
Kansas City getting opportunity after opportunity. 5 turnovers from the Chargers. And Gunther Cunningham allowing himself a bit of a smile. Chargers came in worst in the NFL. They're adding to that number. Kimball Anders. And the running game is just not working for the Chiefs right now. It's a gain of 1. James Hasty recovered a fumble earlier. Also comes up with his 4th interception of the season.
He's in his 13th season, and he shows no signs of slowing down. That's what you like to see. He's their leader on defense spiritually, emotionally. They have young defensive backs. Takes the whole crew under his wing. He's the guy that makes those guys go out and work, stay after practice, watch the extra film. He is the true leader of that defense.
Tim Grunhard has returned at center for Kansas City. And now a 2nd and 9. Moon has the protection. Moon times it. And caught. Gonzalez and a flag down. Harrison came in, and it's ruled incomplete. Initially, it looked like Gonzalez was able to bring it in cleanly. And let's see what the penalty is.
Pass interference, 37 defense. First down.
Rodney Harrison was all over him from about his 5th step on the field going into his route, and it was a mugging. Watch the play. He's saying he's trying to play the ball, but Tony Gonzalez goes off in his route. Right about now, you're going to see Rodney Harrison right there. That's a penalty. He's trying to fight through the ball, but he's fighting through the receiver to get the ball. That's a good call by the official.
Rodney Harrison, a Pro Bowler in 1998. Did not get the benefit of that call. 1st and goal. Anders running into a crowd. And that's a gain of 2. Anders got off to an excellent start running the football, but since then has been unable to generate positive yardage. Now 12 carries for 18 yards. He has gotten the brunt of the work coming out of the backfield.
Right, most running backs want to get into a rhythm. He's not able to get into a rhythm because he carries once, then maybe another carry. Then he doesn't carry for 5 or 6 plays. He's not getting where he wants to get running the football. And if you look at him, I talked to Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator. He said it's just a miracle at his age, his 10th season, to come back off the Achilles injury he had last year, but he still hasn't gotten that spark, that burst in his legs. He's hitting the hole well, but he just didn't have that burst to take it the distance.
On 2nd and goal from the 8, Moon under pressure, and he has it intercepted by Sayal. Kansas City unable to capitalize. And Junior tossing it into the crowd.
And for Warren Moon, he doesn't see Junior Sayals fighting on the play. He tries to get the ball to Tony Richardson and tries to loft it over him, and he's not able to. He's going to get pressured in the pocket. He's looking deep. He wants to throw it in the end zone. And here he's going to roll out of the pocket and dump the ball. Get rid of it. He doesn't see Junior Sayals sitting right there. Makes an excellent play on the ball. Hand-eye coordination going up for the interception. Keep an eye on those eyes. Takes down Alexander. Bam! Right there. Derek Alexander just knocks him away. Goes to his area in the zone and makes a phenomenal play on the ball.
Handoff. Fazan crosses the 10. And a thoughtful moment from Sayal, rewarding a San Diego Charger fan in the front row. Everybody wanted a piece of that one.
Oh, yeah, that's an expensive ball for Junior to be handing to the fans, but I'll tell you what, for a youngster to come to the game, have a Junior Sayal toss you a ball, you just tell everybody about it.
What's amazing, though, is he wasn't even wearing a Sayal jersey. He's wearing an old Lou Bush jersey, and he still got the football.
I think he did it on purpose. Oh, you're a Bush fan? Here, you take this.
He'll be wearing a Sayal jersey next time he comes to Qualcomm. Under 6 minutes left now in the 3rd on a 2nd and 8. Fazan, the big running back, spilled out. Donnie Edwards has 30 family and friends that have come to the game. Was forced to get tickets this week. All on his dime, by the way, and a loss of 2. And there's the Donnie Edwards fan club.
The fan club there. Happy that Donnie made a play, but that was a heck of a play. Kevin Gogan tried to pull around the edge, and Donnie Edwards just submarined him and made the play.
Donnie told us he flew 11 family members in for last week's Buffalo game. Said it worked out great, but it was hard being Julie McCoy, the cruise director for the weekend. On 3rd and 10. Here's Leaf. Pump fake. Has a safety valve. Fazan. And spun down short of the first down by Patton. So the Kansas City defense has done just about everything asked of them here in the second half, other than those 2 long drives from San Diego. The Chiefs defense has been a story.
They have. They've done an excellent job today. And early in the first half, San Diego's offense was able to move the ball. But since that point, it's like they bowled their back and they said, hey, this is where we're standing our ground. And since that time, they haven't given up anything. No big plays, no points.
Darren Bennett kicking to Kevin Lockett. So the Chargers come up with a turnover. Offense does nothing. Bennett. It's returnable. Lockett from the 40. With a head of steam, he crosses the 45 and forced out of bounds at the 47-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the return after the 43-yard punt from Darren Bennett. And San Diego clinging to the 1-point lead here in the 3rd quarter. Coming up Monday, is a brand new episode of Family Law. These attorneys are after a war criminal. Did this man torture and kill millions? See how far one law firm will go to prove his identity. An all-new Family Law Monday on CBS.
All right, now it's time for the Kansas City offense to do something today. Warren Moon has to generate something out of his offense. And I think they're trying to throw the ball vertically, but they have to get the ball to Tony Gonzalez. I don't care if it's a quick screen to the outside, a little dump off in the middle. He needs to touch the ball.
Play action. Here's Moon. Deep ball. Wide open. Derek Alexander is brought down at the 10. He beat Fakir Brown on the play. And there was almost enough separation to take it the distance.
This is just Derek Alexander using his speed one-on-one on the outside. A good fake pump by Warren Moon, but he's only going one direction. There's the play-action fake. Get the linebackers to step up now. Get rid of the ball. Excellent timing by Warren Moon and Derek Alexander. That ball's placed perfectly out in front. I mean, you can't get a better ball than that thrown or caught.
Alexander has already gone over 1,000 yards this season receiving, having his best year as a pro. The only touchdown Kansas City has put on the board was a return off an interception by Patton. On first down, Kimball Anders. Nowhere to go. Jamal Williams with a hit. And it's a loss on the play of 2 yards.
And penetration always kills a running play, but when you pull your lineman from the inside to the outside, you've got to clear the hump. And clearing the hump is getting around the tackle. And if you can't do that, it's going to be a bad running play, and that's exactly what happened. The guard, Jeff Blacksher, couldn't get around John Tate.
Call it second and a long 12. Only have one field goal to show for 2 red zone appearances. This is their third. Draw play. And Anders again trying to take it up the middle. It's not working. Perella and Williams collaborate to make that stop, a gain of 2.
And Tony Gonzalez has 6 touchdown catches. All 6 are in the red zone. I don't understand why you don't. I would feed this man the football. He's the best tight end in the NFL as many times as possible until they stop it. They've taken him out of the equation for their offense. Now they're trying to rely on the other players offensively, and it's not working for the Chiefs at this point.
Tony Gonzalez, no catches today. Will this be Gonzalez time? On a 3rd and 11. Here come the Chargers. Running play, Richardson. Coming it to the outside. Richardson turns it upfield. Did he get there? No. Richardson spiking the football, and a flag comes down.
Now that's just ridiculous. That is not a smart play. That is hurting your football team. That's a very selfish play from a classy player like Tony Richardson. I can't understand why a player would do something like that.
Richardson's helmet came off. He thought it was a touchdown. He figured he would celebrate. And Michael Dumas injured on the play. Tony Richardson let his emotions get the best of him. He figured that he crossed the goal line. He didn't.
That's the key to this, Ian. What a gutsy call. I mean, a gutsy call by Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator, and well executed, except for the end of it. Here's a play where everybody thought it was going to be a run, but a tremendous job of blocking and a great cut by Tony Richardson. Now he's following his blockers. Tony Gonzalez out there with a heck of a block on Rodney Harrison. That's the block that gets him going.
Michael Dumas injured on the play. Did Richardson get in is the question.
Still 3rd down. Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, 49 offense.
His knee's down.
Oh, he's down.
That is a good call.
Still 3rd down.
But actually, where he lands in the ball, at the point of the ball, that should be a first down. That's right at the goal line. But for Tony Richardson to do that, I know you're excited. You're pumped to be in the game. You're in the game. But you can't make a stupid mistake that costs your team.
You mentioned it before. He's a classy guy. We had a chance to talk to him last night. It does not excuse this.
I still think that's a first down. I think they're missing the boat on this play. I believe it's a penalty, but I still think it is a first down. His knee did touch, but it's the point where the ball is, and the ball was past the marker.
Now they're listing it as 3rd and 15. Unless they're claiming that he took off his helmet. I thought his helmet came flying off because of the impact. The taunting was on the spike.
Let's take a look. Keep an eye on the ball. Keep an eye on the ball. He's going down, the knees down. I still think that's by the marker. That's a few inches in front of him. He got his helmet knocked off on the play. He didn't pull that off.
The spike was the penalty. The helmet had nothing to do with it. He spikes the football thinking it's a touchdown. And that's the taunting call. But I understand your point that
looks like a first down to me. Let's take another look at it. Watch where the ball is. see where the ball, the knee hits, where's the ball? Right there. That ball is about 6 inches from the goal. And the marker's about a yard from the goal.
You're saying the penalty should come off after it's ruled a first down. I think that's what Gunther Cunningham wants to find out.
I think that's what he wants to know. That is a first down to me.
They still have 2 timeouts remaining. Kansas City just used 1. This is a pivotal call, depending upon what the officials see. It's such a close game, and neither team has been able to get into a flow offensively. Kansas City is hoping for a first down.
My brother's son said he had an idea that would make us rich.
That funny-looking kid said that.
Said we can use the internet.
The internet? We ain't selling books, we're selling feed, and we already sell every ranch in the county.
Arlen, have you ever been outside the county? Well?
Give me a minute, I'm thinking.
My name's John Woolard. I rescue alligators for a living.
John Woolard is one brave guy.
It's pretty exciting.
But would John Woolard ever insure his car with some kind of cut-rate car insurance?
Cut-rate car insurance? I'm not that brave.
When it comes to car insurance, why take a chance? Be like this State Farm customer and get an agent you can rely on, plus competitive rates.
Go on now.
Bologna? A bologna with cheese.
Looking for something with some zip?
Bologna or bologna with cheese?
Well, Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich with its fiery blend of pepper and spices satisfies that crave.
That one is...
Look! Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Ellie's renting again. And Enterprise picked her up again. She said Enterprise picks her up free. Free? Free. Now that makes renting easy.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Right. Fugitive Richard Kimball will become the hunter, because sometimes the best defense is a good offense. The Fugitive. Then, these investigators don't just solve crimes.
I want prints, I want film, I want everything.
They restore lives.
Evidence only knows one thing, the truth.
CSI After the Fugitive. CBS Friday.
14-13, San Diego leading Kansas City. A 3rd and 15 from the 16-yard line. And a running play for Richardson. His helmet comes flying off again on back-to-back plays. Or was that his helmet? Or no, it was an offensive lineman. Excuse me. Jeff Blackshear's helmet took a tumble after the gain of 3. And now a 4th down for the Chiefs. No first down. The officials with a ruling that it was a taunting penalty. And they called it back. Replay the down. Peterson on for a field goal with a chance to take the lead. 31-yard attempt is good. Kansas City in front. Gunther Cunningham's team has been able to battle back. And now the Chiefs lead it 16-14 late in the 3rd.
Turning good friends into better ones. Turning new friends into old ones. Turning distant friends into closer ones. Turning lead.
Kansas City 16, San Diego 14. A minute 51 left in the 3rd quarter. Chiefs trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Chargers just looking for win number 1 on the season. Coming up next Saturday, CBS Sports rolls out the season premiere of NCAA basketball, 2 of the elite programs of all time. Keith Boggins and the Kentucky Wildcats take on Joseph Forte and the North Carolina Tar Heels down at the Dean Dome. All the action Saturday here on CBS.
Ryan, you're a big college football guy and fan. Who's the top team in the country at this point, even though it's so early in the season?
College football or college basketball? College basketball? Well, not Arizona. Got beat last night. We'll talk about that in a moment. Ronnie Jenkins on the return from the 7. Jenkins looking for an opening. And he's tripped up as he crosses the 30. We've been told that it was considered part of the play, that it was not going to be taken off after the first down, that it was considered part of the play, the taunting penalty, and the play is called back as normal. I had the same thought process as you, that it was after the play was over. It had nothing to do with the play itself.
Absolutely. The play's over, he's down, he spikes the ball, that's part of the play. News to me.
And now San Diego gets the football. 1st and 10 from the 33. Leaf has been struggling in the second half. Safety valve is Fazan, and he crosses the 40-yard line. And a good gainer on first down. Meslowski and Patton combined to make that stop. Now can Ryan Leaf regain his confidence? Playing some of the best football of his career in the first half of action.
Yes, he carried over for last game, a career game, but in the last couple of series, he hasn't been sharp, hasn't thrown the ball where he wants to. He has to pick it up from here if San Diego expects to win this game.
A 2nd and 1 on the toss. Fazan turns it upfield. First down, San Diego, as he's twirled down into Kansas City territory at the 48-yard line. Kevin Gogan with a block.
Nice job of getting to the edge, sealing the edge of the offensive line and allowing the big man, Jermaine Fazan, to get to the corner. What happens is you have to have a great block by the tight end and the right tackle to steal the edge on the outside. Roman Fortman did a great job of coming through and sealing the middle linebacker, Marcus Patton, on the play.
Terrell Fletcher bruised ribs, and that's why Fazan continues to see action. Here in the late moments of the third quarter. Leaf in the pocket, good protection, steps up, throws, almost picked off. Mike Meslowski had a chance to put an end to this San Diego drive. Graham, the intended receiver.
And ever since Ryan Leaf got dumped and dinged around early in this game, the run has been there for the Chargers, but his passes have been way off.
22 seconds to play in the third. Kansas City with the lead on San Diego. Chargers led it 14-3. Turnovers here in the second half have cost San Diego in their quest to get their first win of the season. And now a 2nd and 10. Leaf, long ball, looking for it all. Graham, it's broken up. Jerome Woods with Eric Warfield. And it was Woods that got a piece of it.
And this is a heck of a play by Jerome Woods. Quarterback Ryan Leaf does not look off the safety. The safety is able to play this play late, which is Jerome Woods. Here he comes. He's going to knock the ball in late. The corner's expecting help. There's your late help right at the last minute. That's a killer play by Jerome Woods. It's timing the ball, coming at the last minute, because he had the cornerback beat on the play.
Warfield was so fortunate that he got that safety help from Woods. At San Diego, another third down conversion attempt on a 3rd and 10 from the 47. Gaylor is in as the third receiver. Motion man is Graham. Leaf, blitz coming. Able to get rid of it, but Conway could not bring it in. Pass was off to the side as Leaf felt the heat from Dwayne Clemens. And 4th down, San Diego.
And Dwayne Clemens is going to put pressure on Ryan Leaf, but watch Pat Dennis. It's a delay blitz. As soon as the linemen are engaged, you come late with the blitz late. Here he is. Both of them put a lick on quarterback Ryan Leaf.
Second time he's banged his head. Earlier, it forced Leaf to the sideline. The medical staff took a look at him, told him he was okay to go out and play. And Leaf has not missed a snap here today. 4th down, Bennett. Wobbly punt. It'll be down at the 7. Scott Turner getting downfield to down it after the 40-yard punt. Good placement by Darren Bennett. And now Kansas City's offense will be forced to operate deep in its own zone.
39 yards on the punt.
Freddie Jones had a great afternoon, particularly starting the game. 2 touchdowns, receptions today.
See what some of your favorite players like Jerome Bettis, Javon Kurtz, Junior Seau, Cordell Stewart, and more had to say in their NFL.com diaries. It's all there for you at NFL.com. Ryan Leaf. He'll tease you. That first half, you think, yeah, he's living up possibly to being a franchise-type quarterback, looks confident, stands tall in the pocket, and then in the second half, it falls apart for him. On the handoff, Donnell Bennett getting an opportunity, and Junior Seau is fired up. That's the final play of the third quarter. Kansas City 16, San Diego 14. We'll come back to Qualcomm Stadium right after this word from your local stations.
All the Elton John songs you know by heart. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime concert event. Elton John, Greatest Hits Live, Friday.
It's all here on CBS.
Shag, Tuesdays on CBS. It's all here.
KCTV5 News, where you get helpful information. Tuesday, planning for the college years in Education First.
Selecting a college, getting accepted, and figuring out how to pay for the years ahead. It's a big job for today's high school seniors and their parents. I'm Tracy Townsend. In an Education First report, a how-to guide for college-bound students.
That's Tuesday on KCTV5 News at 10. News that makes a difference.
It changed the rules. And with each innovation...
This is a national sales alert from Dodge. Effective immediately, you can get low 0.9 financing for 60 months on 2000 Dodge Dakota and Dodge Durango. You can now save over $4,000 on Dakota and save more than $5,600 on Durango. You can still get 0.9 shorter-term financing on 2001 Dodge Ram or up to $2,000 cash allowance.
Magnum Power. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Lucky Town. I've been a surgeon with Lucky Town General for about 5 years.
I need more light here. Sun.
Stressful? You bet it is. One wrong move, you're done. Granted, we don't get as many trauma cases as other hospitals.
Here we go.
Actually, we don't see any at all.
So close.
Want to get to Lucky Town? Play Show Me 5 paid on from the Missouri Lottery. If no one wins the $50,000 taxes paid, the prize pool pays down to players matching 4, 3, or 2 numbers.
Thank goodness we never have to do this for real.
No kidding.
Get Chiefs news, stats, and highlights at KCTV5.com.
Kansas City with a 16-14 lead on San Diego as we start playing the fourth quarter. Ian Eagle, Mark May, our entire CBS crew with you from Qualcomm Stadium. Chargers, it looked so promising early on with Ryan Leaf leading the way, but they have not been able to get something going offensively. And now, once again, they're asking their defense to come up with a big play on a 2nd and 11. Loose football. Or wrapped up. Warren Moon. And this play just never got going from the start. Donald Willis is in at center for Tim Grunhart. We've been told there's no injury.
And that's just a poor snap. And I talked about this earlier, that Warren Moon was not getting the snap. It hasn't been crisp. They've replaced their centers again. The ball's just not there. He's pulling away with the football. The ball isn't snapped far enough back to Warren Moon, but he makes a smart play getting on that ball.
Which team actually wants to win this game? Do you have an answer?
I don't think either one does. I think if you look at San Diego, obviously they want to win the game because they need to get one win, at least before Christmas.
Handoff. Bennett. Able to turn it up off tackle, but he picks up just 2. Obviously, Gunther Cunningham figuring that Kimball Anders was not getting it done offensively, so Bennett has now been given an opportunity. Bennett had been in the doghouse for quite a period of time in this Kansas City offense. He had no role.
And if you look at the Kansas City running backs, there's been a few running backs that have been in the doghouse. Mike Cloud's been in and out of the doghouse. Now Donald Bennett's been in and out of the doghouse. They just can't find one guy, and they like running back by committee, but they still need to find one guy, at least to take the majority of the snaps.
Well, San Diego, barring disaster, should have very good field position with Nate Jacquette standing at his own 45. Sauerbrunn in the middle of his end zone. Gets rid of it. Jacquette allows it to bounce out of bounds. And a line of scrimmage will be the 41. Gunther Cunningham's defense may have to win this one for him to snap a 3-game losing streak.
32-75.
I didn't bring my purse.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light. It did look good on her.
You behave yourself, Angus.
Rear seats that fold down to create over 67 cubic feet of cargo space and an all-too-convenient retractable tray table.
Good dog.
The CR-V from Honda.
Cannonballs, $129 online. 88 hula hoops, $60 online. Elephant shampoo, $42 online. Not having to pay for any weird charges that show up on your bill? Priceless. With MasterCard, you're not responsible for unauthorized purchases on the web or anywhere. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
The pomp, passion, and pride. For over a century, these two teams have been battling it out on the field. The 101st Army-Navy game, next Saturday on CBS.
13:20 mark of the fourth quarter. Kansas City and San Diego, a matchup from the AFC West. Chiefs blew out the Chargers earlier this season, back in Week 3, 42-10, with Elvis Gerback leading the way, 5 touchdowns. But it's been Warren Moon in at quarterback today for the Chiefs. Ryan Leaf for the Chargers. And a pitch on a 1st and 10 from the 41. Terrell Fletcher back in there with the injured ribs and all. And not much to work with. Hey, there's only one way to see all the action on the field. You need to be inside the Monster.com blimp. The Monster.com blimp is providing us with these live shots of the game today. This is one of Monster.com's 2 blimps. This blimp is named Skeeter, and it's based out here on the West Coast. And we thank the fine folks from Monster.com for being a part of the telecast here today. A 2nd and 11. Motion man is Graham. Leaf, a nightmare of a second half so far. Leaf in trouble. Slings it out middle of the field to Fletcher. And a short gainer on 2nd down. He picks up 4. Chester McLaughlin able to wrap him up.
And for both of these teams to have success offensively, they're not able to move the ball in the second half. They have to get the ball in the hands of 88s. Tony Gonzalez for Kansas City, Freddie Jones for the San Diego Chargers. In the first half, that's where they had success offensively, the San Diego Chargers and quarterback Ryan Leaf, getting the ball to the tight end Freddie Jones.
Those long drives, which culminated in touchdowns to Jones, seems like eons ago. Back-to-back, San Diego was able to drive down the field 70-plus yards and then 80 yards for scores. Timeout called by Kansas City. They have 1 remaining. So the Chiefs do have the lead. Here, right one, Kansas City leading San Diego 16-14. Just not a lot of offense to speak of. Since San Diego's long 80-yard drive for a touchdown, their longest drive has been 20 yards. Joe Bugle, the offensive supervisor and offensive line coach. It's a nice title.
Hand out those titles. Keep you moving around the NFL. But for Joe Bugles, this has to be killing him. They haven't won a game 0-11.
And Leaf is engulfed by Hasty. On the blind side, Leaf did not see him coming. And James Hasty has come up with a sack.
And this blitz is a long time in development. Ryan Leaf never sees it coming. He's coming from the backside. Never looks, never sees him. If a quarterback's smart, they come up to the line of scrimmage and they read the defense. Look from one side to the other. You play the piano keyboard all the way down. He doesn't do that. Never sees James Hasty on the blitz.
5th sack of the day for the Kansas City defense. Bennett on the punt. High punt for Lockett to field. A little bit fearless as he avoids a tackler, but then gets hit from behind. Right across the 15-yard line, Scott Turner. And the line of scrimmage will be, we'll call it the 16, maybe the 17, depending on the spot. A 1-yard return, 49-yard punt. A tale of 2 halves for Ryan Leaf. So comfortable and poised in the first half. And in the second half, resembling what the pro career has been like for the first 3 years.
Where all the quarterbacks are huddled around quarterback coach Mike Johnson. He's in the middle. And Mike Johnson's been instrumental in Ryan Leaf's development, helping him with his mechanics, keeping him after practice, doing the little things to make him a better quarterback.
1st and 10 at the 17. Kimball Anders able to squeeze through a hole and picks up 4. You know, just to go back to Leaf for a moment, here's one thing that would either concern you or maybe you say he's maturing, but He told us earlier this week, football is my job. It's not who I am. And I'm not sure which way to react off that.
Well, I'd react as the next player saying, no, that's who you are. That's how you got here. When you were a little kid, you wanted to play in the NFL. That's why you went to college. It identifies you of who you are today. Not for the entire life, your entire lifespan, but you are a football player.
On a 2nd and 6, inside handoff. Tony Richardson pulling his way forward to the 35. Michael Dumas could not bring him down initially, and that's where Richardson made up extra yardage. 15 yards right up the middle.
And this is why Tony Richardson has success. He likes to hit the ball between the tackles, straight ahead, make something happen. He picks his way through the defensive front, but then he keeps his leg moving after the fact. He had much success. He's had success to the outside.
On a 3rd and 4. Here come the Chargers again. Moon able to get rid of it and incomplete. Fakir Brown had it in his arms. And it's 4th down, Kansas City with 1:51 left.
Pressure on quarterback Warren Moon on the play. Al Fontenot. Warren Moon is getting pressured on the outside, one-on-one with Sylvester Morris. Fakir Brown. A lot of traffic around that football.
4th and 4. San Diego's defense has to make one more play to preserve a victory. It could happen. Crowd is vocal. Play clock winding down. They don't get the play off. Flags come down, and this play is whistled dead. Oh.
And a lot of this has to do with the rust of the quarterback, Warren Moon, his first start in 2 years.
Game, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
The 11th Kansas City penalty, and as bad a time as you will find for one of these.
And for Warren Moon, nothing to take away from Warren Moon's greatness, but here's the situation. You haven't been in this situation. You've been the practice guy. You've been on the sidelines.
It turns into a 4th and 9. .151 left. This crowd is charged up. Riley can almost taste it. On a 4th and 9. Here's Moon stepping up, throwing to the sideline. Catch is made and a 1st down. Derek Alexander keeps this drive alive on the pinpoint pass from Moon.
And all Warren Moon wanted was a 10 or 11-yard out. He gets it from Derek Alexander. You push it to the inside where you've been throwing the ball, plant. Turn to the outside. The ball's a timing pattern. It's on time. That's where they've had success. I said it before. They've been picking the Chargers apart on the outside, but they continue to force it on the inside. But when they have to have it, they get the ball back to the outside of the field.
Well, first things first, they had to move the chains. Now they have to start thinking about getting into field goal range. San Diego with a 1-point lead, 1:46 left. Moon with a deep drop and a deep ball, throwing to the sideline and out of bounds. Alexander was the target. Gunther Cunningham.
Warren Moon wants it all in one throw. Derek Alexander is open on the play. He just can't get him the ball. He pushes off there. There he's open. He can't get the ball to him. But for Warren Moon, get 1st downs. There's plenty of time on the clock. You've got a timeout, 1:40. I get the 6-8 yards, move the ball down the field, get the defense to step up and play the short passes, but they want it all in big chunks.
Line of scrimmage, the 36. Kansas City slim playoff hopes resting on this drive. Moon, he is leveled as he unloads the football by Michael Dumas. Incomplete.
And Michael Dumas, the free safety, is on the far side of the line, right in front of Warren Moon. He reads him. He's his hot read. Get rid of the ball. He does, but takes a heck of a shot right in the chest from Michael Dumas.
Clock is stopped with 1:36 remaining. 3rd and 10 upcoming. 17-16. San Diego with a lead. On a 3rd and 10 from the 36. And the Chargers want a timeout. They will have one timeout remaining.
That's the second time timeout.
You ever figure a game involving an 0-11 team would actually be this exciting?
Not at all, but I'll tell you, everyone that came into this stadium, they have not left. They've stayed here throughout the entire game.
San Diego 17, Kansas City 16. A minute 36 to play in the fourth here at Qualcomm Stadium. Chargers trying to win their first game of the year.
Now, back at CBS News Election Headquarters, some of our stations are joining us for this special report. The reason we're on the air right across the board nationally right now is because Florida's Secretary of State, Republican, as we mentioned before, campaigned actively for George Bush, well connected to the Governor Bush's governor brother, Jeb Bush, in Florida, but a woman who has consistently said, I'm trying to do my job right down by the letter of the law as best I can. She has said that she will be out in a very short time here now. And what's expected of her is that she will certify, as she sees it, who gets Florida's 25 electoral votes. Those 25 electoral votes potentially will be decisive. As of the moment, Vice President Al Gore leads in the national popular vote. He leads in the electoral college vote. However, he has 267 in the electoral college vote. It takes 270 to win, and the 25 electoral votes from Florida are figured to be decisive. All of this against a background of the U.S. Supreme Court saying that it will hear arguments next Friday. But here is the Secretary of State now to make her long-awaited announcement in Tallahassee, Florida.
Good evening.